You own a gym, not the kind with a smoothie bar and an influencer teaching the 6 a.m. class. A 4,400 square foot box on the unglamorous end of a strip mall, between a tax preparer that closes every April and a vacuum repair shop that's been temporarily closed for 2 years. You paid $12,000 for it. 18 months later, after payroll, after the lease, after an HVAC unit you didn't see coming, it nets you $4,100 a month. Your manager at your actual job thinks you go to some gym 3 mornings a week. You let him keep thinking that. It starts on a Thursday in February, not with a plan, with a text from Priya, who's worked the front desk there for 4 years and has your number because she used to remind you when your membership card declined. The text says the owner's selling. Just that. You'd been paying $39 a month at that gym for 6 years, watching the same 5 regulars rotate through, watching the treadmill belts get slower, watching the owner, a guy named Russ, show up less and less until he was basically a name on an invoice. You don't reply right away. You sit with the text for 2 days the way you sit with most things, quietly, without telling anyone. You find Russ at the gym on a Saturday morning, doing inventory on protein powder nobody's bought since the pandemic. He's tired in the specific way of someone who built something and then let it run him down instead of the other way around. He tells you straight. 11 years in, the lease renewed at a number that scared him, 2 trainers left for a corporate chain down the road, and he just wants out before it gets worse. He's not asking for much. $12,000, equipment included, lease assumable, 6 years left on it at a rate that's actually below current market. You ask him why he's not asking for more. He says nobody else wants it. You don't tell him you do, not yet. You go home and run the numbers on a legal pad instead of a calculator app because something about this felt like it deserved paper. 180 active members at $39 a month is $7,020 gross. Rent is $2,800. Utilities run close to $900 in summer, $600 in winter. One part-time front desk person, Priya, at $14 an hour, 20 hours a week. Equipment maintenance, call it $300 a month average, lumpy but predictable over a year. You do the subtraction 3 times because you don't trust the first 2 answers. The number that comes back is somewhere between $2,200 and $2,600 a month. Net, as it currently sits, run exactly the way Russ has been running it, which is to say, barely. You buy it on a Tuesday. You don't tell your coworkers. You don't tell your brother, who would ask immediately if this was a smart move, in a tone that means he's already decided it isn't. You tell Priya you're keeping her on, same hours, and her face does something you don't expect. Relief, like she'd been bracing for the gym to just disappear out from under her the way things like this usually do. The first month, nothing changes except the name on the lease. You net $2,340. You don't celebrate. You just notice the number proves something Russ's spreadsheet couldn't, that the architecture underneath a tired business can still be sound even when the business itself looks like it's dying. You don't renovate everything at once. You fix the thing members complain about most, which according to Priya is the air conditioning cycling on and off all summer, and the broken cable on machine 4 that's had an out-of-order sign on it since before you bought the place. The HVAC repair costs $1,800, more than you wanted, less than a new unit, which the technician tells you will be next year's problem whether you like it or not. He's right. It is. You eat that cost in November the following year, $6,200 out of cash flow, no loan, and it sets you back 4 months on what you'd been thinking of as your timeline, except you don't really have a timeline. You have a direction. You raise membership prices once, not dramatically, $39 to $44, and you lose 6 members who were already barely showing up and gain 11 new ones over the next 2 months because the building finally smells like it's maintained instead of abandoned. You add a tanning bed a member mentioned offhand, used $1,100, and it pays for itself in 7 weeks at $25 a month per user with 19 people signed up by the end of the first quarter. None of this is interesting. None of it would make a good slide in a pitch deck. It's just a series of small, boring corrections to a business that had been quietly neglected by someone who'd stopped paying attention. By month 9, you're at 224 members. Net income is sitting at $3,600 a month. Priya's gone full-time. You bumped her to $19 an hour because she runs the place better than you ever could. And most months, you don't visit more than twice. You get a text if something breaks. You get a deposit on the 1st and the 15th. That's the extent of your involvement most weeks. Your coworker Todd leases a new Tahoe in March. Black, fully loaded, $850 a month for 36 months, and he spends a solid 10 minutes at his desk on a Monday describing the sound system like it's a personal accomplishment. He asks what you've been up to. You tell him you've been busy with a side thing, vague enough to close the conversation, specific enough to seem like you have one. He assumes it's a hobby, maybe a podcast, maybe a tutoring gig, something small. He doesn't ask again. You don't correct him. The moment someone files you under unremarkable is the moment they stop watching what you actually do with your time. And that's worth more to you than the 10 minutes it would take to explain. 18 months in, the gym crosses $4,100 net for the third straight month. The HVAC unit is paid off. Priya's running 2 part-time staff under her now. And you've stopped thinking about it as the gym and started thinking about it the way you think about a utility bill that runs in reverse, quiet, automatic, paying you instead of the other way around. You haven't told your brother. You haven't told Todd. You drive the same 2016 Civic you've driven since you bought it used 4 years ago. 96,000 miles, a chip in the windshield you keep meaning to get fixed. There's a Sunday in the fourth quarter where you stop by the gym, not for anything, just because you're in the area. It's 9 a.m., busier than you expected for a Sunday, the parking lot half full, the windows fogged from body heat the way they get when a place is actually being used instead of just maintained for appearances. You don't go in. You sit in the Civic for a minute and watch a guy in his 60s walk in carrying a gym bag that looks older than the building. And you think about Russ, who probably stopped going to his own gym somewhere around year 9, who let the thing he built slowly stop meaning anything to him until it became just a number he wanted gone. You don't want it gone. You don't know exactly what you want it to become. More locations, maybe. Or just this one. Run quietly, forever, throwing off $4,000 or $5,000 a month while you do whatever else you do with the rest of your life. You haven't decided. What you do know is that $12,000, an amount Todd's Tahoe payment covers in under 15 months, bought you something that pays you every single month, whether you show up or not, whether anyone knows about it or not, whether it ever gets mentioned at a single dinner, a single networking event, a single conversation with your brother. You drive home. The chip in the windshield catches the afternoon light for a second, the way it always does, and you don't think about getting it fixed. You think about Priya's last text sent 2 days ago. New member, referral from the tanning bed guy. That thing's basically advertising itself now. You smile alone in a car nobody's impressed by, on your way back to a job where nobody knows what you actually own. Nobody asks. Nobody has to. The number doesn't need an audience to be real. It just needs to keep showing up, quiet, on the 1st and the 15th. The same way it has for 18 months. The same way it probably will for another 18. And another 18 after that, long after the vacuum repair shop next door finally takes its temporarily closed sign down or admits the truth and closes it for good.